Hey folks, we are back on the couch and Maggie's just joining us. Hey Mags. And we're going to talk about Sudden Stop, the second record I made starting in 1989 and coming out in 1990. There was two different covers made worldwide for this record. It came out on Virgin Records America, my second record, and you can see here, this is the one that England put out. They wanted a different cover than the one that was I guess the photo came from Los Angeles on the first one. It was a shoot from down there. And this guitar is in the background. If I go like this. Anyway, this is the photo they took. I bought this guitar in Memphis where we recorded this record with the great producer, engineer Joe Hardy. And I never met Joe. I think I'd heard about him through Nancy Jeffries at at Virgin Records America. Nancy was my A&R lady. And we had a bit of an issue on the first record with multiple producers. And it was really important we get it right on the second one. And she was an old friend of Joe's. And they played in a band together years ago. Joe was a bass player. Actually a very good musician in general. You just never really would know until he picked up an instrument. You went, oh. But he was really a whiz on computers, and he was the first time making this record that I ever saw digital audio wave. For the very first time, we did a couple edits of the stereo mix on first time I ever saw an audio wave where you could just slice and dice it, we had to wheel some machine in, at the time. Anyway, I bought this guitar for the record. I found it in an old pawn shop. It's we talked about it before. It's a Rezo Glass Folkstar Supro. Kind of banjo-like tone, but we use it on the record on I Got Stoned Till I Pass Away on the Robert Johnson song, and we kind of purposefully degraded the sound with sounds of vinyl at the time. I think we actually had a blank vinyl that we abused all week or two and then actually recorded the scratch sounds. Now you just find a sample that did it. Anyway, this made its appearance right away, and I think it actually plays on the Bonnie Raitt. Bonnie Raitt sang I Flew to LA with the tapes on a plane for her to record on with Dawn Was, and we did Give It Up, which she's so lovely to sing with me on this record. And like I say, Joe Hardy was after my experience on the first record, I really needed an artist producer, and Joe was that. He had done Copperhead Road, had a huge hit with Steve Earle on that. He had done the Georgia Satellites. He had Don't Give Me No Lies and Keep Your Empty. And he had done Replacements and Family Style with the Vaughan Brothers, but a lot of ZZ Top stuff. And he continued to work with ZZ Top his whole life, Joe. Joe passed on a couple of years ago. And Joe and Trish, Joe's wife Trish is an awesome person. And we just missed Joe so much. But anyway, I was so fortunate to work with him. And he was the first producer, well, I didn't have a lot to base producers off of. But he was the first guy who sent a super detailed, this is what he sent my manager at the time. What did he write about? It just came back. He just did his little take on all the different songs, and he just came back. He liked it, and he predicted it was going to be a hit song. And I don't know, I think I was I was having trouble with it at the time. But so amazing to find this. And I actually found the scrawl of lyrics for Just Came Back's corrections and different little alterations on the lyric the other day. We were going through some old stuff. But I had a great time. I was in Memphis, which was an amazing place to be. So many of my heroes came out of Memphis, from Robert Johnson. Well, just everybody you can imagine, to Howlin' Wolf. We'd go out and just soak the city in, and we were on 2000 Madison Avenue, where Ardent Studios is still located to this day. Before that, they were on National Avenue, I believe, and we just had such a good time. And when I was in Memphis last year for the Blues Awards, 2 years ago, I should say, I dropped in. some guy, Jody Stevens from the band Big Star, still works there to this day. And it was so interesting to walk back in the room where we recorded Just Came Back and all those songs all these years later. And I just had such a great time going back there and finding out it's still there, thank God. And Memphis is such an amazing place to visit. I highly recommend that. What else should I talk about? I also bought another guitar while I was down there at a little store. And it's played on songs like Savior since then. But what makes it so cool is I bought the little amp, the little guitar case amp that goes with it. And I didn't think it worked. So I went and got it out of the garage today thinking I'd have to show you a non-working situation. Now this is how loud it goes. But that's the amp. You can see the speaker here. I have a picture of Nancy Sinatra selling these. So anyway, glad I bought it. Can't believe it still works. Anyway, great experience working in Memphis. Joe had a relationship with ZZ Top that continued until his untimely death a couple years ago. And Billy Gibbons and him worked together all the time. We recorded the bed tracks in Vancouver at Little Mountain. And then we took them down. I think the band was with me. It was my original band, Daryl Mays, Rick Hopkins, Johnny Ferreira, and Dennis Marsanko. And we all went down there for about a week, and I stayed over for 2 to 3 weeks and got to work with Joe every day and just loved it. So making this record, you know, we were looking for a title track, and I don't think any of the songs that we had were something I wanted for an album title. And I'd been playing this Percy Sledge song, Sudden Stop, at the time, and it was a beautiful song with one of the worst record covers ever known to man. Wow. Hey, baby. But anyway, that was ended up being the title track of the song, a song I still love to this day. And I'm walking out, never talked it out. Now she's gone, so you can mark it out. I'm all alone, so I must do without all the love that I can live without. I played along, I did it wrong. I can't blame that girl for being gone. I was cheating on her all along. I can't really see her staying on. And what else can I tell you about Sudden Stop? You know, we had a great time touring it. We toured with ZZ Top on the Recycler tour through the northern states a little bit. That's about it. You know, we had a great time on the record. Just Came Back, I think, was a top 10 FM rock song in the States and did, you know, well in Canada, and really kind of rocked the boat for a while for me. It was really, got the second record out of the way, and then opened the way for the third record, which was a bit of a about face, but we'll get to that on the next issue when we deal with the Little Big Band 1. I'm Colin James. We've been on the couch talking about Sudden Stop, my second record for Virgin Records America. Cheers.